Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. My name is Kathleen Kuo, and I am a program manager with Nevada Humanities, which is our state's council partner for the National Endowment for the Humanities. With Humanities at Play, our goal is to pair gameplay and other interactive activities with thoughtful discussions about the humanities and how they enrich our everyday lives. So, a couple quick notes before we get started today. If you're a first-time Twitch user, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here with us today. If you'd like to chat and ask questions, you can make a free account, and that will let you type into our chat. And if you aren't already following us here on Twitch, if you click that purple heart, that follow button, you'll get our notifications whenever we're live. So today, Molly, I am so excited to have you on stream with us. I have been chatting, I think, since even before this program started. Molly was one of the first people I thought of, and so I'm just so thrilled to have her joining us today. Molly Appel is an assistant professor of English at Nevada State University. I'm going to read her bio and then I'm going to, introduce her a little bit more casually. So Molly's work focuses on how Latinx and Latin American literatures have been a space of feminist and decolonial pedagogies of human rights and social justice. She's been an educator in K through 12 and higher education classrooms for over 15 years. At Nevada State, she teaches a range of courses, including human rights and world literature, Chicanx literature, theater of the Americas, Gloria Anzaldúa, video games, and composition courses on education and its history in Nevada. Molly's research appears in the journals College Literature, a Journal of Critical Literary Studies, Chiricú Journal, and in the edited volumes Grassroots Activisms, Public Rhetorics and Localized Contexts, and more. There's a lot. Molly's done so much, and she's a fantastic person. So, Molly, thank you again so much for joining us tonight for this special stream.
Oh my God, Kathleen, thank you so much for the invite, for reading so beautifully the mouthful of stuff I was so excited to share with you. And just for everything you have been doing for Nevada Humanities. I mean, as soon as I think I remember you arrived during the pandemic, if I remember correctly, and I arrived just shortly before. And so it was fun to forge a bond of nerddom and love for the humanities in the midst of COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. So Molly and I think, and we can talk about this in the second half of our stream, sort of like, how she got to Nevada and her favorite places in Nevada. But what I'm really excited about today, and I think, several people here already know it, but today's a special stream. Usually on our stream, we do a variety of things. We've done poetry workshops, we've done cooking demonstrations, we of course play video games, but we've never played games that were created by students. So in a way, this is kind of like a second world premiere of sorts. I feel like your classroom and your grading was kind of the first world premiere. Here's the second. So tonight, for those of you who don't know, we're going to be playing through a variety of games that were created by Molly's students at Nevada State. And I'm wondering, before we get started, if you could tell us more about the class in which these games were created, and like how your students felt about it, that kind of thing. I'd love to get some more background on these games before we get started.
Absolutely. So the class was it was an upper division English class of sort of topics in comparative literature that it's a course that lets us experiment with sort of new courses and new course topics. And I had done a little bit of work with video games and literature while I was in graduate school and wanted to take it here and see what would happen if I taught a course of looking at video games as a form of literature, just like we might read, obviously, poetry, novels, testimonios, and even look at film and photography and other sort of forms of storytelling through a literary storytelling analytical lens. And video games is one of the most compelling, ubiquitous, financially huge modes of literary production, I would say, that exists today, and some of the most moving and innovative storytelling that really exists today. And so, but I knew that this was going to be a class with, so the course was video games as literature. And that was the premise. And so I knew I would have a group of students who were upper division, meaning upper division like humanities majors. And so that meant that I knew they would come in ready with a good amount of experience in doing like cultural analysis, basically, but no experience needed in like programming or anything like that. I think I did have a visual media major too, which was really fun. Yeah. But they didn't even necessarily have coding or programming experience either. And so we really spent most of the weeks of the class kind of learning how to apply the tools of cultural and literary analysis into game studies and games analysis. And so a lot of it does overlap, but some of it is what you're looking at is not just this sort of we called it the different rhetorics, right? So there's like the literary rhetoric of like plot and symbols and all of those kinds of things. There's the visual rhetoric of like style and color, and even I put like sound sort of formal things in there. But then you have procedural rhetoric, which is a term from Ian Bogost, I believe. And he and other game studies scholars talk about procedural rhetoric is the sort of affordances that you get through gameplay. So how much the player participates and shapes or is sort of given space to do that within a game. And there's a lot of design choices that go in precisely to what a player is sort of allowed to do. And I'm as a gamer myself, I know my partner, I think he's watching this right now and he'll laugh that I have a love and a tendency to break games.
You mentioned this, yeah.
Yes, I have a lot of love for game jankiness, because I think part of it is about seeing what does a game sort of let you do, and there's a lot of just really fascinating moments of like all of the things we do when we are identifying with a story or making sense of someone else's experience that we look to literature for is all happening when we're playing all kinds of video games. And so the course began by looking at having students look at that in other people's games, basically, and looking at a whole bunch of different models, and students brought in games that we looked at collectively. They helped build the syllabus in terms of the sort of game artifacts that we looked at. And then the last third of the class, originally I was actually going to have them do just sort of like a game proposal, like if you were to make a game. But as the course went on and I learned about a couple of free to use, very beginner level platforms for designing games, I was like, why shouldn't we be doing this? And so I developed a way to kind of help scaffold how they can plan the game, basically. Sort of, we looked at examples from these 3 different platforms, and I know that we'll try to, I know I'm already talking a lot, but we'll try to take a look at an example of the different platforms today. And then we had a really amazing guest visit the class. Their name is Bo Ruberg. Wrote this fabulous book called Video Games Have Always Been Queer. And they are a game studies and complet scholar out at, I believe, I'm so sorry, Bo, if I'm getting this wrong. I think it's USC. And also do like, they go to the big game development conference each year. I'm blanking right now, and I'm embarrassed that I'm blanking. But they sort of do a lot of consulting for game developers and how to think about inclusivity and all of those sorts of things. And they came to my class and we got, I think when my students sort of like asked advice on like if you wanted to make a game, and they were like, make something totally weird. Like make something that is just like that you would never otherwise get a chance to make. And so I think that helped bring about a number of the really wild and wonderful games that you see in front of you today.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It was a little long-winded, but that's the basic story of how this came about.
Well, I think it's just really exciting. I'm guessing we have some of your students from that class in our chat tonight. Either that or just, really avid supporters of Molly. So if we are playing your game, you don't have to tell us. But if it is your game,
yourselves. Right, if you are here,
let us know. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to spend about an hour or so. We're pretty flexible in time, but we're going to play through as many of these games as we can for the first hour-ish of our stream. Take a 5-minute break where we can, stand and stretch, use the bathroom, go get water, etc. And then we're going to reconvene for a one-on-one conversation with Molly just about video games and that kind of thing, get to know her better. So again, the beauty of Twitch is getting to interact with everyone. So please don't be shy. If you have questions, if you have comments about the game, share them in the chat. We always love to see what people think. So I'm going to get our first game started. So the first game started is called, let's see, it's called Let It Rain, and this is on Twine.
Yes.
Let me pull this up.
Twine is a really great beginner if you just want to see what it's like to make a sort of branching based narrative text-based game. It's probably one of the best intro level platforms you could use.
It looks, I'm really excited. So, okay, I think everyone can see this hopefully on screen. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and start with this one. Molly, can you see my screen? Let me know if I need me to.
Yes, I can.
Change. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna get going. Okay. When I was younger, I would ask my mother why it never rained. She told me it was because the valley was surrounded by mountains, and the mountains would catch and trap the clouds, forcing the valley to go without rain. That's rather cruel, wouldn't you say? Indeed, or not really. What should we say?
What do you think, Kathleen? What do you think that's cruel, or do you not really think it's cruel? You've got a choice.
Yeah, that's a little cruel. I get really thirsty at night, so I can't imagine just, someone being like, haha, here's water, you can't have any. So I'm going to say indeed.
Nice. I'm glad you agree. You see a letter. Written on the letter were the words, Dear Breezy. You can open the letter or just keep walking away, going about your business.
Okay, I accidentally missed the game. I'm going to, put this back. Perfect. Okay, should we open a letter or keep walking?
See, this is where it gets hard. I need you to choose because I'm just I want to see all the content no matter what.
Right, I know there's a lot of different options. So let's open a letter.
So many branches and options.
The letter reads the following. Breezy, you've been assigned to find and herd the missing clouds down to the valley. Word has it that the creatures in the mountains are the ones keeping the clouds from passing the peaks. Figure out why and find our missing flock. But be careful. Every single wind spirit we've sent prior has officially disappeared. Good luck, Mr. Tropos. Okay. Yeah. So now we're set up for our adventures. I think if you click on those 3 dots, it will take you to the next thing. All right.
Looking up, you see a trail that takes you to the top of the largest mountain in the area. As you slip past the bushes that guarded the entrance, you surprisingly find what you'd been looking for. A fluffy cloud floated lazily above a large flat rock. Kathleen, are you going to approach the cloud or continue walking?
I'm kind of a sucker for all things fluffy. I just wanted to say really quickly, too, I think when a lot of people think of games, they think of graphic heavy games or things that are, just, super busy. And I kind of love this is super old school, right? I think earlier in
Very
chat,
much.
Weirdrick said Molly for D&D sessions. This is, I feel at its core, it's old school storytelling. We're on a choose your own adventure together. And I love that.
Well, and we did, I think, in the class play some examples of those old school text-based games that the boys in MIT were making in the 80s. I think it's Zorg might be the really famous one. You can download an app on your phone, y'all, if you want to try some old school interactive fiction like this. I think there is I'll find it.
Okay.
Whatever. But yes.
May or may not be called Zorg.
So what are you going to do?
Okay, we're going to approach this cloud.
Good. Say yes to the quest.
Yes. This is you.
Wait, is that my turn or your turn? I don't remember. Okay, here, so you approach the cloud, but just before you can reach out and guide the little lost lamb, the large flat rock beneath it begins to shake and rise. The mountain creatures that you'd been worried about, this must be one of them. The rock stands before you, tall and sturdy. The cloud on its head rolls lazily from the movements. Although it didn't have a face, the creature didn't seem very happy with you.
Oh, no. Okay, this is like super D&D, and also I think it was probably my turn to read, so sorry about that. But ooh, that's all right. Okay. I don't even know. Am I attacking or dodging it?
Roll to attack or roll to dodge.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it. Okay. Noticing the creature's top-heavy build, you strike it from below. The living rock teeters from side to side before fully succumbing to its weight. You watch as the rock falls down a slight incline of the mountain foot. Its last bounce to the bottom left, chipped and unconscious. Thankfully, the cloud was perfectly fine. It sat perched near a bundle of bushes for shade. Take the cloud.
You snatch the cloud up and continue up the mountain, watching the terrain for any signs of life. The warmth of the sun made you feel sticky as you continued to walk. About halfway up the mountain, you saw a cloud of white. Inside the cave of a large boulder, there was another cloud. It seemed to be enjoying the shade.
Aw, okay, let's approach the cloud. You approach the cloud. As you got closer, the ground began to shake. From the ground sprouted 2 thick roots. Only then did you realize that on top of the boulder the cave was carved into was an ancient-looking tree. The tree glared at you. You glared back. There's only one option?
Only one option here.
I don't want to destroy the tree. The tree did nothing to me.
So this is, sometimes the procedural rhetoric only, sort of funnels you into one particular outcome, okay. And you gotta grapple with it.
Okay, we're gonna destroy the tree.
Silly tree. Why would you attack your most vulnerable feature? The roots were slow and fragile, making them easy to shred with a simple gust of air. The tree began to wither instantly. It breached a branch out toward the shivering cloud, but before the vile thing could reach it, you grabbed the branch and snapped it off. You turned to the cloud and shrunk away in your shadow. How cruel, you thought. The tree had twisted the cloud's mind so bad it did not know. Friend from foe. Aww. Grab that cloud!
Aww. And Molly, there's a very kind comment in the chat for you from the Real Robot really? Rocky. Welcome in.
Ruh-roh.
Welcome in, Real Robot Rocky. Thanks for being here.
Hello, my love.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
Real Robot Rocky and I have spent many, many hours from childhood playing many video games together. So
thank you for being here today and supporting Molly. We're gonna grab this cloud. You continue making your way towards the peak. You wondered what sort of monstrosities awaited you at the top. What sort of beast ruled these unlawful lands? You stopped before a rocky arch. Looking up, you see another helpless cloud. It wobbled on top of the arch like some sick decoration. What's happening? Why are there so many sad clouds? Okay, collect the cloud.
You shot yourself up into the air and toward the cloud. The dust behind you spiraled into a dust devil that began traveling down the mountain. High-pitched squealing caught your attention as you got closer to the cloud. Disgusting winged creatures with black fur and fangs spread their tangled limbs out and took flight. Show no mercy!
Okay, everyone put a 1 in chat if you want Molly to be your DM. I'm going to put a 1. We're all mountain creatures, so stupid. You controlled the very element that allowed them to thrive. Without another thought, you snapped your fingers. In an instant, the wings of the creatures were torn to shreds. The high-speed wind you had summoned launched their furry bodies against the rocky arch they had been hanging on just moments prior. The wind spirits before you must have been weaker than you thought if creatures such as these ceased their existence. The cloud was shaking by the time you reached it. Do not fear, you whispered. I will save you. Save the cloud. Why is save?
Save.
Save
that cloud.
Save the cloud.
The last step of your mission has come. The valley was finally in sight. You hear a low grumbling, almost a purr, come from behind a rock. A very large creature with monstrous teeth slowly stalked toward you. Unlike the other creatures, this one looked skilled. Finally, a challenge! The monster lunged at you. Naturally, you dodged quickly because you rolled a 20 or you're a rogue. I mean, shooting it with a sharp gust of wind, the monster dodged, much to your twisted enjoyment. This dance of rage and power only stirred the storm inside your heart. The monster's body hit the ground with a... You had slayed the beast that had kidnapped the clouds and vanished your fellow brethren. It was over. You had won. Bring the valley rain.
I suppose you could say I had gotten my wish. The valley had experienced a horrible monsoon. The flash floods destroyed what little trees we had and damaged many of the houses, including my own. But the water wasn't the worst of it. No. The high winds uprooted trees and shredded anything it could. It was a monster. Ending 2 out of 5, the real monster. Try again.
What I remember about this game developer, the student talking about their game, is that they really wanted to try something that had a kind of mythic, legendary, sort of folkloric feel to it. And so working with some of those tropes, and you think you're going along, but you can see that there's a lot of branching decisions, but some decisions are leading you swiftly down a very particular kind of path that as you're playing the game, maybe you don't get to see, but then you're like, oh my God, I got the second out of 5 possible endings.
Right. This is super cool. No, I love this. And I can't imagine you have to write, so many different stories, right? And think about all the different branching paths. So super cool. I would definitely try again. Maybe for the sake of time, we're going to move on, but
yes.
I love this game. Very, very cool. So thank you. I think it was,
Yay.
Was it Riley who created this? I want to dox you.
Yes, Riley.
Riley, thank you. Okay, so the next game we're going to play is called Ashamed. Molly, do you want to talk about this one?
Yes. So this one was made with Bitsy, which is a tiny little pixelated platform. Once again, thank you, Bo Ruberg, for turning me on to that. And this is made by a student who's first generation and whose parents are immigrants. And so this game is this really amazing. Well, you can decide amazing. What adjectives you want to use for it, but exploring the sort of lived experience of being the child of immigrants in an immigrant family who came. His parents came. Well, you'll see the parents came across the border, and the sort of. I feel like I'm over talking it. You should play it and you should see, but know that there are a lot of different nooks and crannies actually to explore in the world here.
All right, I'm super excited. All right, so it is 3 a.m. A rainstorm rattles the house. You awake to the sight.
You awake? Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So bad.
Okay, go, Molly, go.
You awake to the sight. You awake to the sight of a portal in your bedroom.
Here we are. Oh, I love that rain effect. That's so good. I can go. Oops. Uh-oh. I went. Okay, we're not going to go. Wait, should we? I accidentally just kept going. Okay. Okay, here we're going. Who is this?
Who's that?
Hello?
You check them out.
You find Ruby. Hi, Ruby. You find Ruby chilling up here. I'll keep reading. You give her a huge smile. Now here's someone who won't judge you. Oh, Ruby. Okay, goodbye, Ruby.
Okay, I think Ruby is the only friend up on that roof.
Okay, yeah, we're
in the
gonna go
rain.
back.
Ruby the cat. I'm so glad.
I didn't mean to do that. I was just like, I'm just so used to just pressing all the buttons.
Good idea. You could catch a cold out here.
It's true. It's raining at 3 a.m. Okay.
I think you could check out, the door, the thing on the diary, March 22nd, 2014. My older brother called me whitewashed again. I hate it when he does that. He says that I can't speak Spanish. He says I can't speak Spanish properly. Ugh. That's why I hate speaking Spanish in the first place. I'm never going to speak it ever again.
Oh.
And I love the visual cue to the volume there.
Really incredible. Just like little things like that make such a difference. You found a piece of paper. Parent-teacher conferences. Ugh. You roll the piece of paper and toss it away. You hate having to translate for your parents all the time. Not exactly the same, but when I was growing up, my parents asked me, it's like in an age of like AOL, my parents would ask me to like proofread all of their emails before they sent them out. And I'd be like, I don't know anything about taxes, but okay. So a little bit of sympathy there. Oh, here's the door that you were talking about. Oh, there's more doors.
This is your older brother's room. You might think twice before going in there. You know what happened last time.
Oh.
But you can go in there.
Yeah. Should we go in?
Yeah, go in, explore.
You spot your brother's PlayStation 2. All he plays is FIFA. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. Ew! Dirty shirt!
I can't, I'm not good at fake snoring. He sure looks ugly when he's sleeping. Shh! Don't wake him up. Oh, accidentally. Okay, let's go.
That's okay.
There,
go check
next door.
Go check the other door.
This is your parents' room. Shh!
Immigration documentation. Your mom has asked you to read and translate these for her. Just the thought of reading those dense papers makes your head hurt. You're going to try to put it off for as long as possible.
Your dad is sleeping on the floor again. He has a bad back from construction work. To you, it only means that he can't play soccer with you anymore. Oh, more snoring. Lots of snoring. Okay, I don't know if we can interact with, there's a mom.
I think that's what mom is up to. Okay, I think you're good to get back to the portal in the bedroom.
Yeah, do you ever do this in games? Like, do everything except the thing you're supposed to do, and then
make sure.
Yeah, I hate the idea that I leave. Okay, so I think I
don't want to miss content.
Right, so okay, we have done every single thing possible, and now we can move on. Perfect. There's the portal. Okay.
Okay, I think go to the closest white ones.
This one?
Yeah, try that one. Yeah.
Oh, door. Angry Ostrich writes, it's the worst when you accidentally go the right way first. Absolutely.
I know. I'm worried about it right now.
Oh, excellently. Wait, let me do this again. Okay.
Oh no, this is okay.
I missed the first
part. The closer
part.
you get, the hotter. It said the closer you get to the door, the hotter it feels.
Okay.
So.
The sun beams down.
Go for it. You do this one. I'll do the next one.
Okay, I'll do all the ones in here. You find yourself in a desert. You regret not going to bed instead. Suddenly it hits you. Somehow you have been teleported to a caravan of people trying to cross the border. you remember that your dad had to go through something similar. What is going on? I really love this game so far. It's just really lovely. Yeah, Millie Chu and Moni HP say, yeah, this game is so good. So much detail. Absolutely.
It's really something amazing.
You find the carcass of a dog. I mean, that's it. That's how I feel. That is like... Camina... Oh, I can't... Can you... I'm not a Spanish
Camina
speaker.
más rápido antes de que nos agarren.
What does that mean?
Walk faster before they get us.
Okay. Oh. Walk faster before they get us.
There you go.
Okay. I'll let you read this one too.
¿Tienes agua?
Do you have water? I mean, the previous game that we played, there was lots of water. We can just...
No. There was so much water. We caused a monsoon and like wiped out all the villagers. Mi última gota de agua.
My last drop of water.
No puedo hablar.
Can't talk now. I need to catch up before they leave me behind. Praying.
Faltan 2 días.
2 more days.
¿Has mirado a mi mamá?
Have you seen my mommy? Oh.
Then I think you go to the exit portal.
Okay, which one should we go to next?
Yeah, I think that one right above us.
Okay.
There it is, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so I'll let you.
The closer you get, the louder the silent sobbing gets. Clock says 1 a.m. Looking around, you recognize the kitchen. It belonged to the first apartment you and your family lived in upon arriving in the U.S. Weird. Suddenly you spot the person sobbing across the room. It is Mother.
Oh. And in chat, Silver writes, my heart, I'm liking this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no jump button. I want like so desperately to like
to laugh.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you can make out the square photographs in your mother's hand. Images of her childhood. Images of the places and people she had to leave behind. It will be 17 long years before she ever sees them again.
Molly, I feel like crying. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I feel like I have like genuine tears in my eyes. Oh.
I do too every time I see this game. As you stretch out your arm and reach for your mother's shoulder, you're suddenly teleported back.
No. Okay.
Go to the one on the far end.
Left or right?
To the right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, to the right. Sorry.
You're good.
I think because the first time I played through this game, I went to the last one first, and I was like, no!
Yeah.
You hear the low hum of classroom chatter. I mean, this is what's so astounding and powerful about video games, right? Like, this is a little pixelated game with beautiful, wonderful stick figures, but you don't need to see the like perfect graphics, all of this, but you're moved in this way with just the tools that the developer has chosen to put in how he's told the story. So sorry, you hear the low hum of classroom chatter.
Yeah, Genevieve. No, literally so emotional, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to read this or do you want to?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Okay. Again, I have a soft Like, I love the 8-bit graphics. It's amazing. Millie says no amount of 3D graphics would make this game better. Oh, yeah.
That's right,
This is so
Millie.
good. A classroom?
Shout out to Millie, who I know is a game studies professor down in Chile right now, and so I'm really grateful for
Hello, thanks so much for being here. Yeah.
Who we went through and learned to teach our first round of video games while in grad school at Penn State.
Amazing.
So.
Love it. We love when friends show up to support.
Yes, absolutely.
You look up and recognize your older brother standing near the front. Wow, he looks so young. And he also looks terrified. You let out a small chuckle, but then your face gets serious once you begin to overhear the insults going on around him. He was brought to the US at a much older age. He must have had a terrible time adapting to all of this. I hope he doesn't sit next to me. Can he even read? Have you heard the way the new kid talks? He talks funny. Sweating profoundly. Good morning, class. I would like to introduce you to our new student. Come up here and introduce yourself. Oh, okay. Is there something else I'm missing, Molly? Do you know?
No, I think you got them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids can be just really like rude with.
I'm gonna interject here with like a meta wonderful end to this story, which is that the student who developed this game is currently is student teaching because he's going to be a high school English teacher in Clark County, and so it's just happy.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be an amazing teacher.
Mean,
yeah,
he's thinking. He thinks so deeply and empathetically about these issues that it's like seeing this fills me with even more joy to know that he's stepping into being an educator.
Yeah, absolutely. My heart is breaking. I know, right? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into this portal.
Okay, I think that was the last portal, so now we can go to the end game.
Okay,
I think if you hop through that portal there.
Do you get S vibes? Like, do you know, like the cool S?
Oh my god, like the one you used to draw on your desk?
Yeah. Do you get that?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The cool S.
Like,
sorry,
that's S. And with the triangles.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I just had to put, it kind of looks like the cool S in a second.
I didn't draw on my desk. Whatever.
Yeah, totally didn't. Never wrote it all over my notebooks. Okay, last portal.
River of consciousness?
Love it.
Whoa. Or I could do it like Neo. Whoa.
Ooh, right. I love it.
The rock of reflection. Hmm? Underwhelming.
Love it.
That's felt. Tree of knowledge. This is really great too, because I know that this student also is like a fan of like David Lynch and like Luis Buñuel movies. So,
okay.
Oh my god, but you're back!
I am back. Wait, there. Okay.
Tree of knowledge, you made it back.
What's this? You pick up the rolled up piece of paper. You think about it, and suddenly, translating for your parents doesn't sound that bad. They sacrificed so much for you. After such a bizarre and introspective night, you're so glad to see Ruby. I know, Ruby, you came inside out of the rain.
Get off the roof.
Yeah, right? You want to run out and embrace everyone with a huge hug, but you remember it's a Sunday. Everyone is still sleeping. You yawn. You're pretty worn out yourself. You promise to make them all breakfast and read all of the documents for your mom. First, you decide to catch up on some Z's. Okay. I go up onto the
When you
roof.
go to bed, I get
Oh, well,
oh yeah.
the sun's coming up now and now. It stopped raining.
See, this is the developer knew we would try this.
What a sunrise. Oh, look at me.
Whoa!
Come on, you know we can do this.
That's great. I don't even think I ever came up here.
Amazing. Okay, well,
oh my God, you're floating. That's so great.
I collected everything. Completionist.
You did good. All my love to the completionists out there.
Okay. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Sleep.
Oh wait, I have to touch everything just in case. What if there's like a hidden? It's like for those who have like people have played Stardew Valley, like it makes me think about oh no, did something happen? Okay, can someone yeah, thank you, Silver. Know. Sorry, Amelia, about the auto or the auto mod. I think it was all the question marks. Okay, we're good.
Yay!
We did it. Oh, that was a beautiful game.
I know. It's really, really wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of ties into...
I know we're already quickly running out of time, but yeah. What were we going to say?
That was good. Yeah, Silver said it kind of ties into the other game. Yes, collect the sky. That was good. Okay, let's move on. So
is the next one Get Ready? I think that's it is. I love this one. I would love to see you try it. So
yeah, I think we have time. Let's do Get Ready, and then it'd be fun to do one of the, we could do the Gilgamesh one.
Gilgamesh, yeah, one of the RPG Playground, yeah. Okay. I don't think Get Ready will take too long.
All right, we're gonna play. This is Get Ready. Do you want to tell us about this one before we start?
Get Ready. This is another Twine-based game, but it's about it's about the experience of getting ready in the morning when you are neurodivergent. And so I played this game. I have ADHD myself and have had my diagnosis since I was about 12 years old. And playing this was so wildly perfectly captured the daily experience of just trying to be functional at my personally most high anxiety time when I wake up and everything's like, what are you going to do? And I think this captures such a vulnerable in many ways experience in such an innovative way through this platform. So I'm very excited for you to play it.
I'm excited too. And again, I think it's so wonderful that your student, created something like this, which I think shows, a lot of vulnerability, but also just thoughtfulness when it comes to portraying that experience. So.
And I think the question, we talked about a lot in the class, and for my students who are here, they can say that too. We talked about why did this game need to be a game as opposed to a film or a novel or other form storytelling? What about the affordances of this medium create holistically an experience for the player that you want to achieve? And so I think it's a great example of that.
I'm super excited. Okay, start. Bring! It's 7 a.m. on a Wednesday, and your alarm is going off. You go to snooze it, but then you remember you're supposed to be at work by 9 a.m. today. That gives you about an hour and 45 minutes to get ready. What do you do first? Snooze alarm anyway. Scroll through social media. Get up! Ooh.
I know what I would do. I want to know what you would do.
Okay, so... I know, it's so...
What would you do?
A peek into my life. So my beloved dog, who I love to death, has recently... I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's the new year hit, and he just, said, I'm going to just wake you up an hour, earlier than usual. He used to wake me up at 7, now he wakes me up at 6, and I'm trying to train him out of it by not getting up. But so what I do is I wake up very, like, I'm very upset. Like, I get up and I feed him breakfast, and then I go back to sleep for 2 hours and then take him out because it's really early.
So you're the one being trained in this situation.
Okay, so I think I would snooze. I have 2 hours to get ready. I can get ready in like 15 minutes, I think, if I had to. But okay, I'm going to snooze.
Silver, I love that comment. They said, got to choose between what you'd actually do or in real life or what you want to do in the game. And this is like... This is like the core dilemma of being a video game player, and part of what is like so fascinating about play as a form of storytelling and learning. And so that's so real, right? You're like, am I gonna reflect myself, or am I gonna see what happens if I try to do or be someone else?
I think about when I play The Sims, and my Sims are so good at like exercising and making money. They write for 3 hours a day. They paint. They go to school.
Right, they organize their laundry.
I am not my Sim. Okay, so I'm gonna snooze again. I'll let you read.
You thought you had the snooze button on your alarm clock before you went back to bed. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And you wake up an hour later. Holy crap, you're going to be late. Run to the bathroom.
You make it to your bathroom. No time for shower.
No time for shower. No time for shower.
I'll let you read this.
I can read. Okay. Wait, I'll read it. Yeah. Okay. You decide to skip the shower today. You'll probably feel like crap during work, but you're already on probation for being late too many times. You cannot afford to get fired from this job. What would you like to do next?
There's so many choices.
What's the most important, okay? You know you're going to be late. You're going to brush your teeth, apply deodorant, brush your hair, or put on moisturizer. Keeping in mind, friends, we all, well, you know, the context in which this made is Las Vegas, and so I don't want to underscore the importance of putting on moisturizer as a choice in the morning. I don't want to downplay, rather.
Oh my gosh. If this were me and I were running late, I would do none of the above, but I would just show up gross. But I also don't know what my work is. I don't know how nice I have to look. Okay, I'll say apply deodorant.
We're not going to judge. We're not going to judge.
Oh, shoot. What did you do with it? Oh,
what'd you do with your deodorant, Kathleen?
I don't know. I don't remember. Is it my medicine cabinet? I don't know. My dresser. Do I have a spare? I'll look in my cabinet.
Oh, no deodorant there. Oh, your medication is in your medicine cabinet, though. Don't forget to take that.
Okay, take medication. Medication taken. Now back to finding that deodorant. Okay. Oh no, dresser or bag? What's the closest to me?
Where do you think you put that deodorant?
Is it my dresser? Maybe it's on my dresser.
There it is. You apply your deodorant and go to walk back to the bathroom. Oh, wait, you have a document you need to read through for work too.
No.
You ponder whether you should do it now or later. You look at your watch. Holy crap, you've got about 30 minutes before you have to leave. You decide to put the document in your bag and look at it before stepping into the office.
Okay, we're going back to the bathroom. What would you like to do next? No, none of the above. I'm just that's gonna be me.
What are you gonna do?
I don't need to brush my hair. It's fine. I'll put on moisturizer.
You decide that today will be the day. This is so good. Today, right now, as you're an hour late for work, is going to be the day you start consistently putting on moisturizer. You're not really a follow a daily routine kind of person, but you still try. It can be disheartening whenever you inevitably spiral into chaos and disorganization for the thousandth time. But you've been trying to be more self-forgiving. So whenever that does happen, you just shake it off and try setting a routine again. This is actually one of the superpowers of people with ADHD. Moisturizer on! What next? Look at this. You're like a together person.
Fresh teeth? Brushing teeth time. Not much to be said about this task. You hum your favorite song as you do so. Okay, what next?
What song would you hum while you're brushing your teeth, Kathleen?
Oh, that's
I'm
a
asking the
question.
questions now.
Unstoppable by Sia. That's the first song that came into my head. I'm unstoppable today.
Hair is brushed. Luckily, you keep a brush pretty much everywhere in the house, so you always know where one is. It may seem like overkill, but man, it's like your favorite item to leave.
That's good.
Better to have too many than none at all. What would you like to do next?
What's one choice? We're gonna exit the bathroom.
Let's get out of the bathroom.
Wait, what are we forgetting? What are we forgetting?
What are you forgetting? After staring blankly into the distance, thinking about what you could have possibly forgotten, you decide to forget about it and continue to get ready like normal. Hopefully you remember what you forgot before it's too late.
Grab some underwear.
We won't know.
You look in your underwear drawer for some clean ones. Oh dear, there doesn't seem to be any. In fact, it doesn't look like there's any clean clothes suitable for work. You sigh. Guess you're going to be digging through the laundry hamper for clothes to wear today. Again. You feel slightly embarrassed, perhaps even a bit disgusted with yourself. What kind of adult doesn't regularly do their laundry? In chat, Angry Ostrich says, I forget. Then clearly I didn't forget.
I feel like we have some people in the stream who feel seen and or attacked at this moment.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us if you do your laundry or not, but just think
no judgment here.
Okay, next.
You remind yourself that many people like you have issues with attentiveness and disorganization. You're not a bad person or failing at being an adult. You feel better after giving yourself some reassurance. Where do you grab underwear from?
Okay.
Small pile on the foot of the bed, hamper, the dryer. I mean, for me, these are all extremely viable options.
I'm going to say small pile. Maybe there's something there. Uh-oh. No
really
underwear. But you did find your work badge.
Oh, shit!
We found
you did find your work badge!
You totally would have forgotten to grab this if you didn't go to look for clean underwear. Sometimes the chaos works in your favor. Where to look next? Hamper or dryer? No. Okay, we'll go hamper.
Oh boy, that pile of laundry is tall and a bit intimidating. You decide you'd like to check somewhere else before going through that monstrous pile.
Okay.
Well, we know what we checked before, so
let's try dryer.
I think we gotta go back to the dryer. Yeah. Doesn't hurt to look sometimes. When you do laundry, you get through all the steps except taking your laundry out of the dryer to put it away.
This is also difficult when you live with someone else and then you forget, did I dry it? Oh no, I didn't take my clothes out.
Did I do it? Did they do it?
Score! You have found a small pile of clean clothing in the dryer, which so happened to include a couple of pairs of underwear. Unfortunately, there wasn't much else in there that would help you out today. Time to search for work pants. The Geech says, this is 100% my roommate and me. Welcome in the Geech. I can see that. Okay, we're gonna find some pants. Where could they be?
Now, where could those work pants be? Okay, we're gonna look in the pile of clothes next to the hamper. I've got one of those too. Or the one on the bathroom floor.
Let's do hamper.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. You decide to look in the giant pile of clothes next to the full hamper. Absolutely. There they are, right next to your Rubik's Cube. It looks like it hasn't been solved yet. Maybe you should give solving it a try real quick.
Okay, so this is where, like, in-game, and also I'd be like, solve it, yeah, but also, like, how much time do we have left?
You're really stressed for this person.
I kind of really want to solve it, but I don't think we should. But I really want.
Real quick.
Yeah, just real quick. Just real quick. Am I good?
Real quick.
Okay, wait. Molly, it's like, should I press the button? Should I press the button?
Chat, they have analysis paralysis.
Okay.
What is Kathleen gonna do?
I know. Okay, solve it, please. Okay, all caps. Solve it. You spend a few minutes fiddling with it when you look at the time. Holy moly, you're going to be late if you don't finish getting ready now. Okay, we're going to find our work shirt, Molly.
Okay, now all you have to do is find your work shirt and you'll pretty much be ready. Where do you look first? We've already done a pretty good scan. We know there's bathroom floor clothes, there's hamper clothes, and there is a closet.
We haven't looked in the closet yet. I want to look in the closet.
No, let's look in the closet. Despite the many, many shirts you have in your closet, none of them are suitable for work. Oh, you sigh. How is it possible for you to have piles among piles of dirty laundry and still a full closet?
Love it.
Impulsive shopping may be the culprit. Sometimes you act before you think. Luckily, your favorite stores are thrift shops, so your spending habits have yet to do a great deal of damage to your finances. But where to look next?
Our old friend bathroom floor or other old friend number.
Come on, come through. Come through, old friends.
Angry Ostrich says at this rate, we'll definitely be ready for work tomorrow. Let's try bathroom floor. You check the pile of clothes on the floor. There it is. You grab it and put it on. You're almost ready. What would you like to do next?
Okay.
There's more things.
Food or shoes? Think of how much work goes into getting ready in the morning, y'all.
Okay.
Makes you think.
Can we get, okay, can we do shoes?
You're gonna go for shoes. We didn't forget to you throw on your shoes and give your cat a quick pet goodbye. Never skip the cat pet.
This is a rule.
You run out the door, enter your car. This is a law.
Of video games in real life.
Gravity.
Okay, next. You get about halfway to your car before you realize you're missing your keys. Dang it. You run back to the house, hoping you didn't lock the bottom handle from the inside. Oh, no. I love this comment. -2 hunger damage. That's great. Love it. Just like stress damage, too. We're playing like Don't Starve. I don't know who's played that. I'm like so stressed right now.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, the keys. Where'd you put them?
Bathroom or kitchen? Kitchen?
That's the kitchen. Oh, there they are. You grab your keys from the kitchen counter. You leave for the car again, locking the front door this time. After getting in the car, you reach for your phone so you can turn on some music. Oh, God, where's your phone?
Go back into the apartment. I just imagine like if a neighbor's like looking out their window and they just see this. No.
Oh, sorry. You mean my neighbors every morning almost?
I also didn't brush my hair, so just
Oh, that you skipped the hairbrushing after all the hairbrushes that are around the house.
I did. Okay, go back. You would say you're surprised you forgot your phone, but this is a common occurrence. You're starting to get used to it, but it's frustrating nonetheless. You run inside. Now, where did you leave your phone? Ooh, we haven't gone to the living. Yeah.
I know. Okay. I think for content, we should go to the living room. For best guess, I'm going to guess bathroom.
Okay. Oh, in chat, the Gage says, my former roommate, Kevin, would do this car house back and forth like 4 times every day. So we started calling it pulling a Kevin. That's great. My brother's name is Kevin, so this is actually
legendary.
Also extra funny.
Legendary.
Okay.
Kevin, thank you for your service for all of us. Thank you for verbing our experience.
Yeah. Okay, so you said living room for now?
Well, let's do living room for content.
Okay.
Perhaps you left your phone on the couch when you had to put your shoes on. You check to see if it's there. No phone. Ponder if it fell in between the cushions. There's no time. Look at the bathroom.
Can you guys hear my dog snoring? Sorry, they're just getting extremely loud.
Oh my God.
Snoring. It's very funny. Also, I lose my remote in the cushion like all the time. It is insane. I lost my remote yesterday and spent like 10 minutes looking for it. Okay, bathroom.
Oh yeah, no, it's gone.
You run to the bathroom and there it is. You grab your phone and go to walk out of the bathroom. Wait. Did you put on any deodorant?
Do you remember if you did?
I did. That was the first thing. I did.
I love this moment of the game, making you recall your past choices.
I think I did, because I remember when you said, think about the context of this game where it's in Las Vegas and it's really hot and you should probably put on your moisturizer, and I thought about deodorant as well.
So you did moisturizer and deodorant. All right. You're confident.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you remind yourself you definitely did. But are you sure?
Yes, no, leave.
Leave.
You shake your head. You definitely did put on deodorant. It's just been a very chaotic morning, and you're feeling a bit frazzled. That's when you are the most forgetful. Leave for, hopefully, the final time.
As you exit the apartment, you consider whether or not you should lock the door again. You have that feeling that you're going to forget something else and you need to run back in. You lock the door anyway and fast walk to your car. You hop in and start your music.
You make it on the road by 9:15. This is definitely not great, but luckily you have a great boss who's very understanding. Not everyone does, so you're very grateful that you do. You leave today feeling like a big piece of you is missing. It's about halfway to work that you realize you're missing your bag. That's no good. Hopefully you didn't have anything important for work in it.
The document! We put the document in the bag!
It's been a very chaotic and stressful morning, and you're excited to finally be on your way to work. Unfortunately, you already feel mentally exhausted, and you still have an entire 8-hour shift to work. Oops, I realized the bottom's cut off, so I apologize for stream.
Oh.
Yeah, today's going to be tough, but by now you're pretty used to days like these, and they do get easier. Despite the stressful morning, still, go to work with a smile on your face. You know that even if your days look a little bit different than everyone else's, you are just as capable of living a happy and successful life. I wonder if I zoom in. Can I scroll in? I can't scroll in. Okay, sorry everyone. Maybe if I zoom out.
Sorry.
There we go. Okay. You are just
We're going to see
capable.
our results.
Okay. Results.
Oh, man.
How ready were you? Okay, Molly.
How ready were we, guys? We did not feed our cat.
No, we pet our cat.
It was a hair wash day, and we did not wash our hair. Yeah, we took our medication, though. We did not grab the document for work, nor did we bring our bag, but we did find our work badge.
This is incredible. What an amazing game. I'm just like...
truly amazing.
Really, really cool. Also, I'm really sad. Is it possible, actually? Do you know if it's possible to, like, actually get every single thing?
To do all of them? I don't remember. I think I did do a number of playthroughs. Let me see if I look back at their author statement.
Yeah. Okay, while you do that, I'll read some comments. So Ostrich says, I've developed a really bad habit of putting my new phone down in random places instead of my pocket because it's nice and new. A couple days ago, my partner found it on a shoe rack in a closet. I only use that rack for long-term storage. The Geach said, don't forget to pee before you leave the house or you'll summon traffic on the way to work. Yeah, okay, time to summon traffic. Mondays, am I right? That's no good. Yeah, how did they write these variables into the Twine story? Brilliant, right? This is, I love like the end where...
an immense amount of work, yeah.
That's really amazing.
That goes unseen.
The Geach says, I kind of want to send this game to my roommate and just watch her play it while making that face.
I don't know that it is possible to have like a perfect run of this game. I am reminded that, yeah, there's a really great, one of the games we looked at in the class called Depression Quest by Zoe Quinn. I think played it. Yeah, pretty pivotal, I think, Twine text-based game that sort of engages in putting forward mental health challenges, struggles in this kind of gaming format where some of the restrictions and inevitable challenges are communicated not by like saying there are some things that you just can't get around, but through the procedural gameplay being like you can see this thing but you can't physically pick it. And I think that Samantha used a sort of similar procedural rhetoric logic of like there are some paths that are just going to lead you into one possibility or another and maybe lock you out of others. So yeah, this is really incredible.
Okay, I think we have time for one more game, and then we'll go to our break and then go to our interview. But I think the beauty is this is not the only stream we'll ever have with Molly. So we can always, play more of these and do other games as well.
Let me come back and play more games. Yeah.
All right. So what do you think we should do?
It would be fun to showcase a little of the last platform that my students use. So we had Bitsy, we had Twine. We had a wonderful game, which I would love to play with you, I think another time, that 4 of my students collaborated on using Bitsy and Padlet even. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the last one is a free platform called RPG Playground. You may be familiar with RPG Maker, which is like expensive and all of these things. But RPG Playground kind of gives you a menu, an extremely expansive menu of options and assets to build your own little RPG world in. And this student was also studying, I think, ancient heroic epics at the same time and got inspired by Gilgamesh and wanted to try sort of seeing what happens to that story in game form.
We have music.
Oh yeah, can the stream hear the music?
Yeah, let me know if this is too loud, and I'll try to fix it. But yeah, we have music. Amazing. Okay.
What?
Hey, Gilgamesh.
Oh, hey, Gilgamesh.
I love that.
Oh, good. Sorry. I'm just like,
okay.
I have main character syndrome, everyone. Sorry. So I will always popping in.
I'll let you read it.
Oh, hey, Gilgamesh. I didn't see you there. Here, you can be Gilgamesh. How's it going?
What, do I flip? Oh, of course you did. You're a goddess. You're a goddess, Molly. You see everything. You need some beast slaying, or are you just here to chat? I have to meet up with Enkidu at the tavern in a few minutes, and I'm running late. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can turn this down, so apologies for that, but okay.
Oh, okay. You're not fun, Gilgamesh. Well, if I'm being honest, I saw that you and Enkidu slayed that Humbaba guy, and that's like kind of hot. So I was wondering, you want to go on a date with me? Oh, what are you gonna say?
Okay, a lot of choices.
These are your options, yeah.
Okay, so we could say no thanks, not interested, or no way. Okay, so but the three forms of no, each kind of horrifying.
Yeah, well, she's kind of, she just might end up being a person you want to go on a date with, Ishtar, if you were a Gilgamesh.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say...
Are you gonna be like... Oh, yeah.
I'll say not interested. I'll say not interested, Ishtar. Remember that beautiful boy, Tammuz, you dated? You loved him when you were both young. Then you sent him to the underworld and doomed him to be wailed for year after year. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, Gilgamesh. I see your true feelings for me now. If that's how it's gonna be, then so be it. You will pay for that.
And welcome in, GQQ. They say, I remember this game. It was super dope.
Yay!
Hey, oh.
You'll pay for this, Gilgamesh. Don't talk to me.
I feel like this is like an anime. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, we're really rocking with this music.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm doing a thing
so
where...
I think with this, you go up and...
oh, wait.
Oh yeah, so you can slay. Oh, careful, you got hit points and everything.
And wacky. Sorry, where can I go?
Yeah. Get it.
Literal slay.
Literal slay. Literal slay.
Okay. I can't fight the butterfly.
The bots! I know. Oh, absolutely. First thing you always got to try. Someone else grew up on Zelda.
Okay, can I just say, this made me think about, right, old school RPGs. You break all the pots, you do all the things, you swing your sword around. I played Baldur's Gate 3 with my boyfriend's family, and his cousin...
What? It's a family affair? That's amazing!
Well, we ended up being accidental murder hobos because his cousin said, I think, this is like a quote, like, I didn't realize that my actions had consequences when she threw like a firebolt into like a group of children and was like, well, why is the whole town suddenly angry at me? In video games, you can like break pots and steal things. Why is this person why are they yelling?
But that's the idea. You're good, and that's part of what makes that game so fabulous and you can see the depth of like how much programming and coding and writing it takes to make the world as expansive as possible for players.
Yeah.
I think if you go up to that person, Mighty King, please help. The town is under attack. There are monsters everywhere. Have we angered the gods?
I'm gonna put another one in chat for Molly, the game master. Don't worry, young lady. It is not you who have angered the gods, but I will take care of this. Oh, can I? There we go.
Oh, thank you. The monsters are inside of the shops, terrorizing the shopkeepers and the children. Please make haste. Also, what the fuck? Why did you anger the gods and it's now coming down on us? Sorry, I probably shouldn't have swore on the stream.
It's role playing.
What the bleep?
All right, there's an inn. Should we go to the inn? I feel like that's kind of
go up in the inn.
Right.
I don't actually remember how long this game is, but yes.
Wait, the person that's talking! Wait, no! Okay.
Kill him!
I did it.
Okay, you gotta get some health. Oh my
Perfect.
god.
Everything is okay now. Are you too hurt?
Thank the gods you got here just in time. We're all right. Thank you for coming, our mighty king, to our aid. My king, while you're here, would you like to hear a fact about ancient Mesopotamia?
How is this so funny to me?
It's delightful.
Of course.
I mean, I've played these games when I was a kid of like, oh, I'm gonna go adventuring, but like, you know, I didn't have like actual computer games. I had like a Gateway 2000. You play those CD-ROM games, it's like math and Greek mythology.
I remember those. Okay, of course. This is an educational stream. What is your fact?
That's right. Mesopotamia is a region of Western Asia between the Tigris and Euphrates river system. This has later become known as Iraq, or so I've heard the rumors. I don't know why this kid is a...
Okay.
I don't know. Is this... I think he's a phone!
I thought you were a kind person. Okay. Oh, there's slimes in here too.
What about those slimes? Get the slimes!
Okay.
Oh my god, your health is bad again. So I'm gonna say though, the RPG Playground games, the ones that my students did, they were all really hard.
In chat, every town person sounds like a weird granny, LOL.
It's just my inner persona coming out.
How are you holding up? Not hurt, are you?
I'm okay now. Thank you for saving my best friend. I can't quite read that. Rosalia.
Okay, Molly, I'm gonna... Is it... If I swipe them with my sword, does it hurt them?
Let's find out.
Okay.
You gotta find out.
No. Sorry, I had it.
Immune. I'm glad you tried, though. I'm proud of you.
Are you two all right?
Yes. Now I am. Thank you for saving my best friend, Roselian.
Love it. Roselian and Roselia. Just because I can. Oh, a piano. Can't play it.
And I like, we have different music when you're inside the inn. I think there's just like, oh, get that health. God. You're 20 out of 50.
That's such a fun game. Yeah. You again.
Oh, here she is again. Here's Ishtar. I don't remember what my voice for Ishtar was. That's as far as you will go, Gilgamesh. I won't let you get away with this.
Ishtar, that's enough. Why would
I think it's that you can... Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I was remembering if you go in the other zones, you get like more facts about ancient Mesopotamia.
Oh, no.
I think is what it was. Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I know.
This is quite the monologue. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, it's okay. Okay. Why would I want to be the lover of a broken oven that fails in the cold,
God.
a flimsy door that the wind blows through, a palace that falls on its staunchest defenders, a mouse that gnaws through its thin-reed shelter, tar that blackens the workman's hands, a water skin that is full of holes and leaks all over its bearer, a piece of limestone that crumbles and undermines a solid stone wall, a battering ram that knocks down the rampart of an allied city, a shoe that mangles its owner's foot. Which of your husbands did you love forever? Which could satisfy your endless desires? In fact, this is a real quote from a story.
Read literature, everyone.
The extended roast. Absolutely. Exactly. I think my favorite one is a battering ram that knocks down the rampart of an allied city. That's really funny. Okay, that's really good. Burn.
Last chance, Gilgamesh. Be my lover or perish.
Ooh, okay. I only have one love, and it's the love for my brother Enkidu, or I'm sorry, you're just not my type. I like how she just ignores everything. She's like...
Yeah, she's no. Like, whatever.
I'm sorry, Ishtar. You just aren't my type.
Ouch. Well then, let's see what my bull of heaven has to say about that.
Uh-oh. I'm ready.
Oh, boss battle!
I only have 30 health.
You could probably walk around him and...
That was it. I did it.
You got him!
Easy. I don't mean to be toxic, but...
I don't know, get the health just in case. Yeah. Get that health just in case. Oh, go meet up with Enkidu.
Sorry, I had to fight the bird.
Stop trying to hit the bird!
Hello.
Hi, sorry, very busy. Can't talk right now. God, it looked like a 6-year-old child. My wife, children, and I ran here to hide from all those monsters outside. Is everything safe now?
Ishtar was enraged with me and sent monsters into the town to terrorize my people. They've all been slain, so there's nothing to worry about any longer. You and your family are safe now.
Thank you, wise and brave king! Gilgamesh, what took you so long?
Finally, we meet again. I was dealing with the goddess Ishtar. She wanted me to be her lover, and I told her no, so she sent a bunch of monsters into the town to terrorize the people, to slow me down or kill me. Then she sent the Bull of Heaven to kill me, but I defeated it. Could have used your help with that one, but I made it. Looks like you've been faring quite well with them tavern maidens, though. Haha.
Just glad you're alive, my brother. Come and have a seat. Let us drink.
Okay.
I think that might be the end.
Okay.
But I'm not.
Let's see.
I think. Anything I can get for you?
I'll have your finest ale. One for me and one for my brother Enkidu here.
Coming right up. Oh, and then...
Oh, I just saw...
I think... Oh.
Okay.
All right. I think that's the end.
Okay, we did it. We beat the Bull of Heaven. We turned down Ishtar. We did it. Oh. Well, Molly, thank you so much for... I'm just gonna... This is another game that we didn't have time to play, but...
I know. Maybe another time. This is a really... flippin' miraculous, galactically miraculous game that my students made, but we'll get to it another time.
We didn't kiss them,
the
darn.
Grubby Goblins, they call themselves.
So we're going to take about like a 3 to 5 minute break. Then we're going to come back for a conversation with Molly. So, you know, if you're able to stick around, please do so. We totally understand if you have to get going, but we're going to be back really soon. So go grab yourself some water, go take a stretching break, go grab a snack, and we'll be right back. Hi, everyone. We hope you had a great break. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Molly during the first part of our stream. So now this is the part where we get to ask Molly questions and learn a little bit more about her. So don't feel shy. If you want to, ask her anything about, her work, about the games, favorite food, that kind of thing, stick it in our chat. So
I'll do my best.
There is no right or wrong answer for your favorite food.
Only
you know.
Ask me almost anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the fun part of the stream where we get to learn a little bit more about you. So I thought, I'd start out with, one of our favorite questions, which is, I think, maybe fitting given all the games we were playing, but kind of like the origin story question. So when I was reading your bio and introducing you, I read that you've been interested in Latinx and Latin American literature for a long time. Of course, you teach English. You're interested in video games. So I'm just curious and kind of what sparked your interest in, Latin American literature and what made you want to teach English.
It's funny. I have actually never been an English major in my life. But I've ended up in an English program, which I like to tell my students. But I love teaching and learning about language and culture and storytelling. And so I think early on, it's like two parallel things. So I got interested in the sorts of questions, I guess, that I'm interested in. Probably starting very early on with Star Wars.
I see your poster in the background.
Yeah, oh hey, we've got some of my favorite fandoms here. Star Wars is with my heart very long time, and then I also have Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I think is a near the cartoon is like a near perfect narrative. But I think I may mention, so I was like not great at school, but I loved learning and story. And I had an English teacher. It was very late in my career, but who introduced me to Joseph Campbell, actually, who was like kind of a pop mythologist, psychologist who wrote and talked a lot about like how there are certain archetypes and tropes across different kinds of stories and storytelling. And George Lucas got very interested and excited by Joseph Campbell, and so modeled like Star Wars after the hero with 1,000 faces and all of that. Now, Joseph Campbell's sort of like still over-determining, like Orientalist style, like not the best, but part of my origin story, to be sure. And then I started getting interested in Latin American and Latinx literatures and cultures. So before I went to college, I took a year off, gap year, as now people recognize it as, or like the British people called it, who I met. And I worked in Spain for a year as an au pair, which is like a family's nanny, basically. And so I learned Spanish pretty intensely there. And then I ended up making up my own major in mythology and folklore when I went to college. But it was a lot of probably at first the entry points into Latin American literatures that many of us get, like Gabriel Garcia Marquez and the short stories of from Borges, and then you move on and you read like Isabel Allende and Gabriela Mistral and these amazing poets and writers. And so I did some of that, but then I worked as a K-12 teacher in the Bronx and Washington Heights for about 5 years, almost 5 years. And there, I was working with communities and families and students who were from predominantly the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, or Nuyorican, as the diaspora community is called there, and just got really, I think, ensconced and like really just enthralled with the role and the intermingling of like culture and identity and who my learners were in my classroom. And I was an English as a second language teacher, so the scene of that in, you know, the ashamed game of the student coming in and the teacher sort of the careful empathy with which you may or may not have in that classroom is, I recognize being on that scene from the other side many times. And so that kind of got me into it, I think, in that sort of led me down a path, I think, in graduate school. And then after working there, I got more and more interested in the role that stories play in shaping how we think about others, in shaping how we think about how we think about others' humanity, how we think about others' lives and experiences. And so that led me on a track to kind of examine closely human rights and literature. And in comparative literature, you don't have to choose just one language or literature to look at. And so you can do all of the things. And so I did the Americas. And so I studied the work of, leading to the bio that you read, right, of thinkers and writers who were working across the Americas in human rights contexts. I think that answered the question.
Yeah, no, I think it did. I think, in chat, Asha said, when you're talking about being an au pair in Spain, I recently met a new friend who did something similar in France.
Yeah.
So, super cool. And
it really changed the way I even approached. I think it's really, if you can, and I had a lot of, I had the privilege to be able to do this. I mean, my parents were supportive of me, but required that I be accepted at a college and then defer my enrollment. So it was like a promise. So you can do this weird thing if you promise you're going to go when you come back. And so I was lucky to support that, but I think it's very helpful if you can to kind of live and work in a place that you didn't grow up for a little while. And I think that can really help shape how you think about yourself in school and in schooling. And I knew I needed a break from it. I didn't want to go right from high school into the further grind of the educational system. And I think that even doing that, and I love it, Nevada State, we have so many wonderful non-traditional students who are actually the majority and have been for a long time, right? But the more life experience and diversity of experiences that they're bringing that to the classroom, and they're bringing that to their educations. And I think that's how you get games like we saw, right? They're able to sort of engage in these nuanced experiences and ways of thinking that you don't get as much, really, if you're coming just kind of right through the pipeline. So I love being able to celebrate that where I work now.
I love that too. Okay, so speaking of games and chat, we have a question. Molly, have you ever created a game?
Have I ever created a game? Well, I worked with my partner, shout out to him, husband, partner, person. I don't know why. We are married now, but
Yeah, it's a thing. Husband, partner, person. It's just
my husband, person, partner, person. Yeah. He helped me. I made a syllabus game for the video games as literature class. So you know how often you come for a class and watch this welcome video and do this. And so I made that into a game using RPG Playground, and they learned the syllabus by playing the game. So, but I really want to try Bitsy. I haven't had a chance to yet, but sometimes I'm intimidated by looking at my students' games, being I don't think I can make anything like that. But yeah, I should try.
I think everyone here would support you. Everyone here, I believe, would also support Molly. I'm just going to throw this at you. If Molly streams, everyone go follow her, and also one's in chat for.
Well, I do play. Oh my God, I know. And I actually have a streamer. My God, should I drop it in here? Where I put, so if when I remember, I put up videos of me playing games that where I'm finding the jankiness.
Yeah. So wait, is this a YouTube or a Twitch account?
I think it's on YouTube, but I have to figure out how to do Twitch.
Okay.
It's Professor Janks.
Is it? Okay, I don't think you can put links. Oh, is it? Okay, you can put the name, yeah.
I just put the name. So
look up Professor Janks.
I'll find it.
I love that.
To be launched, but I did get the username and the YouTube channel. So one day, maybe it's the post-tenure dream.
Okay. We're here for it.
Which is not far away. Oh, scary. Anyway, yes. Well, moving on.
I mean, that's perfect. So again, before, I guess when Molly and I were chatting, we're like, what should we do for our first stream together? And I really love the idea, of course, of playing through the games that your students made. But you mentioned, as you did earlier, of course, you mentioned that, you're good at finding the jankiness in games, and you often find like glitches and things like that. Can you remember off the top of your head, like what are some ways in which you have broken games? I'm just curious.
Oh my God. if there's like a place that like kind of what you were doing, right? You're like, I'm going to look in every nook and cranny of this world. And I want to like, can I get in there if I jump over here or just try to walk in this door, and I'll find the crack in the world that will like launch me between the levels, and like I'm falling, or I'm like, I'm just like stuck in a crate and can't get it. Oh my God, this happened to me with Zelda. And Link, anyway, it happened a lot. Some games are more protected than others, but like it's, oh, I know. Oh, man, that's actually something someone was mentioning, speed running. I think that is such a beautiful, actually, way of demonstrating the different levels of play and agency of players and the different procedural rhetorics at work. But I think a lot actually about like, what game would I speed run if I ever could? But some of them are so amazing to see the way that they work the glitches to get through and kind of break games in these beautiful, in these loving ways. Yeah. So yeah, that's often what happens. And my favorite thing also is like seeing like NPCs in the background, like just like walking in a wall, like while you're talking to someone. And some developers are better for this than others. Like any Bethesda game or like a Rockstar game, it's just like I will never not lose my bleep. It's my favorite thing.
I think I forget who does it. I've seen like a video online where it's like someone who like does like the Skyrim kind of parody of like a shopkeeper, and it's very good. So
yeah,
that makes me think of. That's awesome. Well, I guess Molly, this is kind of we've kind of established that you're passionate about video games and storytelling, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, kind of what is your background with games? Like, did you play a lot of board games as a child, or computer games? And of course, tabletop as well. I'm just kind of curious, like, what kind of these formative memories and things.
Oh man, I think this is what's funny. Like, so I think I mentioned we had like the Gateway 2000 computer. I didn't really get to play a lot of the cool chonky like Baldur's Gate 1 or Neverwinter Nights or things like that now I get to play. I had like Super Nintendo and PlayStation growing up, and my brother and I would play. And we would just have a ton of fun trading off. And some of my most favorite memories from high school were friends coming over. This is like so wholesome. It's almost silly. We'd come over and play like, Mario Kart or GoldenEye. And I was like a big theater nerd kid. So what we would do is we would mute the game and then like play like a Sondheim musical that we would sing along with.
Really?
Like Sunday in the Park with George to like Proximity Mines in GoldenEye. I'm not even kidding. And I actually, it's part of what I appreciate and love so much about what became like the Twitch and like speedrunning and streaming community, because I have a ton of games of memories that I love of like watching people play games and like having that be fun. And even if I wasn't the one playing, I felt like part of the gameplay experience and sort of the almost like the narrative experience of there's like you could do like an orality and storytelling maybe, or orality and performance analysis of like communal experiences of gameplay maybe. I think there's something akin there, but I loved that. And yeah, I got into tabletop games later in life. I mean, sadly, I love my friends, but maybe I didn't quite have the right friends. I don't know. Love you all, but we could have started doing that earlier. But in grad school, I think thanks to my partner, now husband, partner person.
Oh, yes.
And, his love of games helped me be like, oh my God, I loved like playing Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts and all of these things. Like my whole upbringing, Masters of Terraskazi, Star Wars, it's just these amazing memories and got me. That actually was a time I did a little bit of, I had like a small foray into writing for Pace Magazine about video games and like sort of pseudo thought pieces reviews. And that was a fun way to like earn a little extra money. And that's when I also got into Dungeons and Dragons for the first time in graduate school. And it was I was like, oh, we're a match made in heaven that was long overdue. I think that it's just such a perfect communal play and storytelling experience that just like as emotional and memorable as some of just like your biggest life events, you can recreate there. And there's a lot of connections I've found between pedagogy and Dungeons and Dragons and like the approaches to DMing or ways of thinking about learners and players and how you're building sort of frameworks and game worlds within which people can explore and stretch boundaries and achieve goals. And so I guess even though I'm into like game studies as a field maybe a little bit later, I think you're right. It like has been such a formative part of my own way of thinking of myself as a academic and educator.
I love it. I guess thinking of, speaking of D&D and pedagogy in a classroom, just for some foreshadowing, in May, we'll be streaming with a professor who had his students do LARPing, live action role playing, as part of their class. So we'll be
another life goal I would love to try
with him on stream. Yeah. So I think it is really neat.
Just my people.
Right. I guess I feel like, I don't know if it's like, like an our generation kind of thing, or just like it's slowly becoming more accepted to, talk about video games and use gaming in a classroom and, teach about video games as literature, as you've done. But it's just really neat to see all of these resources come out and just people like realize like, yeah, these are really important pieces of media and pop culture that, just shape who we are. I think a lot of people out there, we cry at video games. I don't want to spoil, Final Fantasy VII, but, there's scenes in there that made people cry and, things like that. So.
I mean, it's a good 20 years late spoiler, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just like go to like anime in school now. Is it cool? Are we there yet?
We might be. I mean, they have like when I visited a couple schools, I see posters for Dungeons and Dragons clubs and things like that. And I think it's, I feel like I've played with some people who like have played since like first edition and stuff. And they're like, there's sometimes a little bit of like, well, I had to really like go through the hazing. I had to go through the mill. And now it's popular, but not really, you know, but I think people recognize it's I think it's long been one of the most accessible and accepting environments for people. And I want to give an extra shout out to like the speedrunning community for really being I mean, not across the board, but like, I think, you know, if you ever watch a Games Done Quick marathon, you see how powerful and visible like the trans and queer affirmation and protection and uplifting of those identities are within those communities. And I think that video games, you know, as Bo Ruberg wrote, they've always been queer.
Shout out.
But I think it's the communities and cultures around it have always been some of the on the forefront of like breaking stagnant societal norms, right? And creating communities that help people escape from those. And not in an escapist kind of way, but like break out of those.
I saw a speed run live recently. I was at I think you know this, I was at Music and Gaming Fest, MagFest, last
because your life is amazing and you make the best choices.
Maybe it was 2 weekends ago, but it was also the same weekend as, you know, AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick. But MagFest had their own, I think they called it MagFast. And my boyfriend really wanted to watch a Super Monkey Deluxe speed run, so he did that. And really incredible just watching, like, you know, they make things look so easy that aren't. And I love how it's so much of it is for a charity too. I actually ended up donating from the audience because they had a thing before they started where you could vote for which monkey you wanted to be, you know, like I forgot all their names. So it's like I, Mimi, Gongon, and maybe Baby. And
oh my God, that sounds right. I remember Super Monkey Ball.
And no one, I think it was like someone, was it like $100 or $150? Someone was like, love Mimi, like here's all my money. And then everyone had money. And then no one put any money for I, so I donated under the name Feel Bad. I Feel Bad for I, and it was pretty funny. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I think speedrunning is really incredible, and I think we should have a stream, you know, down the line where we just sort of, maybe we can try to speedrun something ourselves or talk about it. So
challenge accepted.
Yeah. In chat, I didn't realize there was a dog who did a speedrun for Awesome Games.
Peanut butter.
I don't know this. I have to look this up.
The dog. Wait. That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up after our stream. That's amazing. And okay, question for you in a chat, Molly from Poetry says, question, thoughts on the recent Tetris achievements?
Oh, where the kid like broke the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so happy for this kid. I think it's a perfect, like, that's what, you know, and it kind of goes with what we were talking about with speed running, right? Of like, there's a way of like the games can like invite, you can play within the existing rule sets of a game, but like as you build your agency as a player, you're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And so that's like, I feel like this is sort of, you know, the like 80s movies that were about like, you know, simulations and computers are all about, to win the game, you have to beat the game. But there's like something to that. But I think it's sort of a celebration of like how people can, like, there's a collaboration or like relationship really in terms of like players and games. And I think good games let you push them, right? Like you were talking about Baldur's Gate and like how, I mean, talk about like monstrous game. I finally finished my first run of Baldur's Gate.
I'm on Act 3. I just started Act 3.
Before so see you in 2 years. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was incredible. I haven't looked too much into it. I didn't realize there was a way, I forgot how you do it, like you flip your controller. There's a way to get more inputs by like moving your like,
I mean, and people,
it's just amazing how people figure this out and like.
Well, and you should go and look up Peanut Butter the dog's stream. I mean, they made like a special controller for the dog and the dog had to like hold it and release it at certain times. And so, yeah, you kind of build, it's like modding in all of these different ways. Like you're modding the controller even. So
my dog, literally when you said that, my dog got up, you can't see him, shook his head and then went back to lay down. It was super cute.
Dang, Simba. All right, tell us how you really feel about speed running.
Yeah. And then, hyper tapping or rolling. Yeah, super interesting. And I remember, I think it was when I was in college when I learned about, was it on Twitch for the first time when they had, the fish that were playing Pokemon. I think that was one of the first times.
I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, it was like there were inputs for all the things. And I think,
oh my God.
And then of course there was with like the communal like Twitch plays. I think that also got me into Twitch for the first time, and all the folklore that arose out of that, like what was it, like Pidgeot and Almanite and like that kind of thing. So just really amazing. Yeah, Twitch plays Pokemon is so cool. The fish discovered a game-breaking bug or glitch, says Ostrich in chat. I think you have to look into this fish now, Molly.
I really do. And it makes me think about how like play is not exclusive to humans. I think that, right? And so you could set up these sort of scenarios where it does become possible, and so, but I don't know. I'll have to look at it. Yeah.
There's a pet fish that beat Elden Ring. Oh my goodness.
Stop.
I love this. Thank you everyone for sharing all of these examples.
I'm waiting for the goldfish that beats Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably gonna take another couple years. So someone gets started on that. Molly, I wanted to ask you, just out of curiosity, like, what are you teaching this semester? So, of course, you taught this amazing, video games as literature, but, like, what are some other courses that you're teaching right now, or just, in the future that you might be excited about as well?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. It's funny because right now I'm doing all of this work as the faculty senate chair for my university, and so that means I'm like doing a lot of like representing educators like at the state level, and so but what that means is that I don't teach as many this year, but right now I am teaching one of my favorites, not for everybody, but it's the Introduction to Literary Theory and Criticism, which is about looking at like how people over time, thinkers, have tried to make sense of what is the value and impact of literature in our lives? How do we make sense of making meaning of stories and narrative? And I think theory and criticism and looking at the sort of genealogy and history of that is about like seeing the multitudes of ways that people have tried to answer that question. And so I love teaching that class. I've also taught, last semester I taught a new course I designed on kind of the like writing and education and the history of education in Nevada, which is some very fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know about any of this.
Very fascinating things. I have a lot to say about that. Okay. But students did some really amazing work. And I've also taught, so those are like my composition courses when I teach like English 101 or 102. And one that I love teaching, and I'll probably get to teach next year, is a course on the legislative session. So students who are doing their like English degrees learn to track bills and engage in the legislature that we do. In Nevada, it's like only every 2 years. So it's quite an event. But they kind of find, an issue that matters to them within their communities and find a bill or a series of bills that relates to it, and they track it and learn to make public comment, and they research it and create kind of an intervention or public information campaign around that. I'm trying to think what I'm going to teach next year. I've started teaching courses sort of embedded with the digital humanities. And so a course that I taught last year and will probably be teaching again next year on kind of like early Latinx literature. And so often when we think of like Latinx or Latino literature, we're thinking of stuff in like the 20th century. But you have like people in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th centuries who were already grappling with this idea of like Latinidad across the Americas. And so I get to kind of teach a class that looks at those different threads, and I learn to embed like kind of how we think about archives and different materials with that, and do some digital humanities work where students are learning how to identify and write metadata, and create, learn how different digital platforms to build archives. I love working in archives. It's really fun.
I wanted to say
It's like full discovery. Yeah.
Archives are amazing. I just want to say I want to take all of your classes. And chat Money says, I wish I weren't graduating this year. This class sounds fascinating. Yeah, all of the classes you teach sound just really incredible.
I also get to work with amazing students, not to put her on the spot like Moni, who are doing honors theses on incredible kind of synthesizing the things that they've been exploring throughout their careers. What are the big questions that drive them? And so I know students like Moni are it's really amazing to get to help shape their honors capstone thesis projects. And I've gotten to do a couple of those. I had a student who actually made an even bigger video game for one of their projects. Actually, the student who did Ashamed did this amazing kind of study of the literary form of the calaverita, it's sort of this Mexican-American Chicano performance poem that is like mocking but also giving an homage to death in Mexican culture. And so, this is me just getting to be like, this is all amazing. I'm going to help you kind of bring it to life in some way. And so thank you for saying that. I have the best students, best. I get to teach such amazing things, and so that's a couple of them. Yeah,
that's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
I'm forgetting something glaring, but yeah, thanks for asking.
No, of course. I guess moving on to other things about you. I guess I like to ask this question of everyone, all of our first time guests. What are your top 3 places or things to do in Nevada? And this is always fun because, some people will give more like touristy answers. Some people will give like very like intensely personal answers. So this is, I'm sure if I asked you 6 months from now, this would totally change. But
right.
Yeah, what are 3 things that come to mind? Just like 3 places or things you love to do in Nevada?
Oh my God, I'll try to be a little local and a little touristy. Okay. I mean, I'll say my number one thing is a trip that my husband person and I have taken every year since we have come here. And it's a trip up to Great Basin National Park, up in Baker, wonderful, tiny little Baker, Nevada. And we stay at this amazing place called the Hidden Canyon Retreat, which is like this family-owned sort of like ranch retreat place that's like 30 minutes from the park, and we go up to Wheeler Peak and hike around there, and it's my favorite place that I go. Here, I look forward to that trip every year, and it's probably one of my favorite places I've been within the United States. And so, and I took a giant road trip before I started grad school and visited almost every state. And so I'm saying things. So that has to be number one. I also, and this probably, it's funny, moving out from the East Coast, it was quite a change, but I truly love the landscape of this place, and I'm lucky that we were able to move to a place where like I can walk out my door and be on like nationally preserved land. So I want to give a shout out to Sloan Canyon National Preserved Land. It's so barren, and the beautiful black igneous rocks of like, it was an old volcano. It's just so radically different from any of the landscapes I grew up in, and I love it so much, and I love like learning to love it. And then the other thing, being here, moving from having lived in central Pennsylvania, I mean, the food always blows my mind. It's amazing. I think one of my favorite local places, shout out to Thai-licious out on Stephanie Street. Just delicious. Amazing food.
Well, it has to be. It's in the name of the restaurant, right?
I know. They aren't lying. They aren't lying.
Thank you, Molly.
That's what I can think of. Thanks
no,
for
well,
asking.
I'll have to ask you.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this every time. How about that?
Okay, what's
you can share
places? Yeah.
Oh
my God! Please tell me we're going to get a whole slew of restaurant recommendations.
Oh, we love talking about
right
food
now
on our program. Okay, just a few things. Like you says, can you walk outside without putting on moisturizer though?
I don't recommend it. I do, and then I regret it.
When you remember.
I'm like, where do you think you are, Molly? Where do you think you are?
And then, oh my gosh, my phone, my keys, my bag.
Yeah, right.
Any states you haven't hit yet?
Oh, what states haven't? I have to look. See, I'm a very visual person. I have to look at a map while you're asking me this. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It's coming. I feel like we're playing GeoGuessr now.
Oh, we've done that in stream too. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, Missouri. No, yes, I have, because Kansas City is actually Missouri.
It is.
Nebraska, I haven't been to.
Okay.
And so, Nebraska, is that really the only state I haven't been to?
Do you count driving through?
Louisiana.
Okay.
I've been to Louisiana or Mississippi. I have been to Arkansas. Okay, these deep South spots: Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. I haven't been.
Okay. And Nebraska.
And then Nebraska. But I have been to all of the other states, yes.
Well, I guess the good thing is you can make a loop from,
including Alaska and Hawaii.
You've been to both.
I have been.
I have not. That's amazing.
I highly recommend both of them.
Well, I think this ties into what you said about how traveling is just so impactful, and yeah, I think if people are able to travel,
I've been privileged to be able to do it. Yeah, it's right if you're able. Sorry, I'm still so bad at talking over people after all of our Zoom days.
We do this in person too.
Yeah, it's true.
What was I going to say? Okay, Molly, next question I like to ask all of our first-time guests. You know, this is coming. There is no right or wrong answer. But Molly,
oh my God,
what do the humanities mean to you?
This may seem like a cliche answer for a literature professor, but it's not cliche. I just opened that. Don't cut yourself down before you even answer. Stop it. I think of Audre Lorde, amazing Black radical feminist thinker, poet. And she said poetry is not a luxury. And by that, I think she encapsulates what is meant by the humanities are an essential human technology for imagining the future, for imagining and achieving other than now, right? I think that there's nothing that doesn't get shaped by our ability to imagine and think beyond the immediate scope of our own perception, our own locus, our own community, and to think about, well, what else could be? What else do we want? How do we think about how things impact others, maybe even others that we've never even met? And the humanities are our human way of doing that. Sylvia Wynter talked about that storytelling and story making is an inherent evolutionary need that humans have to be. It's a biological feature of how we are in the world. She called it the Homo narrans. And I think a lot of what we have is because of, if not, and the humanities are some of the most, I love talking about this with my students too. We had our first class on theory and literary criticism. I was like, what does it look like to do English or the humanities? If you're in psychology, it's sort of easy to think about what it looks like to do psychology. If you're a biologist or a nursing major, it's easy to sort of visualize what it is to do this. And so I was like, visualize for me, make little mini murals. We do a lot of like crayons and drawing and things in my class. What does it look like to do English, to do the humanities? And it looks like building community. It looks like creating new models for thinking, creating new models for speaking, creating new models for what is possible. And it looks like intergenerational hope and senses of futurity. And this is what they created. And so I think it's absolutely, it's how we, when social scientists or scientists need to do like institutional research board evaluations, the IRBs for their studies, you have to take these, like the city certification that lets you be like, we promise we won't be unethical in our research. The whole reason that we have to do that now is because at one point the humanities was like, this is, the Tuskegee Institute, the Tuskegee experiments were unethical, all of these things. And so I think it's our very, very core technology for investing in community and imagining and shaping our future. That's my answer.
Put ones in chat for Molly. Thank you. And also, I love this comment. Silver said,
she
"Whisper."
Asked the question. Yeah.
You should offer that. Don't cut yourself down before you start. Yeah, I know. Someone clip that, right? Clip that. Save it.
Stop it.
Okay, Molly. As we come to the end of our stream, again, thank you so much to you and everyone who's spent your time with us so far. If you have any last questions for Molly, please put them in chat. I'm going to ask you one last question, which is a fun question, I think, which is, I think we didn't get around to hearing what some of your favorite games are, or forms of media, we could even say. But let's go with games. And again, I know this could probably change, depending on what comes out this year. But
definitely.
Shout out some of your favorites for us.
Oh my God. I do have to shout out Final Fantasy VII from just a long-standing fave. GoldenEye for all those hours of amazing communal play. I think a more recent one that surprised me and I keep going back to, we probably talked about this, was Spiritfarer, which is a beautiful, it's like I think the tagline is like, it's a cozy game about death and brings in sort of mythology and like farm building, because Stardew Valley is never not on my mind either. But yeah, I think I'm definitely these games that do really wonderful things with all of their storytelling, strategies and possibilities to kind of, I love crying at media. I love crying at games. I love crying at movies and books. And so just make me cry. It's not actually that hard.
I mean, I pretty much almost cried when we were playing Ashamed today or tonight.
I know, so that too. I was like,
yeah.
Wow. I feel like I should have had a better answer than that.
No, those are good. And you know what?
Those are my great, yeah.
Like we said, this is not the end of Molly. I think we would love to try and see, what other games you can play with Molly in the future, whether they're, your current favorites, to-be favorites, or just really good games overall. So I can't wait to play games with you again. I think we have another date set in our calendar. I want to say like end of April, March?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
March or April.
Yeah. So if you haven't followed us already on Twitch and you'd like to know, you can always check out our schedule. It's listed in the About section of our Twitch if you want to see when Molly's streaming with us again. So I'll add that once we know. But yeah, thank you, everyone in chat for all of your comments and questions. It's really sweet to see all of your students who came out and all your friends who came out for you.
I know. I love.
So, sort of my closing spiel. Oh, no, go ahead, Molly.
No, I wanted to thank you. Thank you for inviting me onto this and showcasing the opportunity to share these amazing games that my students made, and we'll look at some more. And just for doing the show, I think it's so good for showcasing, the humanities in our lives, and I think nothing could be better. So thank you, big thanks to you.
We love games, we love people, we love combining the two. So absolutely. Okay, before we go, I'm just going to highlight our next stream, which is actually this Thursday, February 1st. I've been doing this like kind of mini series within a series where I work with other humanities councils or Center for the Book people. So we're going to be bringing back a game we did before. We're going to be playing Unpacking, which is kind of a cozy puzzle storytelling game.
I'm gonna have to watch that because it's been on my list.
Ooh, okay, This is gonna be fun. We're gonna be playing with Gigi Naglak, who is she is the director of programs at New Jersey Humanities, but she actually lives in, I think, Philadelphia. So if you have any Pennsylvania questions, hit up Gigi. Gigi is really passionate about using comedy as a tool for education. She's done she's done a musical about, I want to say chlamydia, about, so you can ask her about that. So really interesting, really fun. So come out at 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific this Thursday, February 1st, if you're around. And of course, you can always find the rest of our streams on our website, on our Twitch. Most of our streams are on YouTube after that 7 period on Twitch is up. So, if you want to watch Molly again after a week, you can find us on YouTube. You can find that moment where she says, "Don't
clip my weird faces."
Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you, everyone. We do have a survey if you'd like to fill it out, but no pressure. If you just want to, let us know what you thought about today's stream, if you have ideas for the future. And again, we're on nevadahumanities.org. You can follow us on social media. And yeah, I'm really excited to just keep doing this program, do in-person programs eventually for, all around Nevada. So stay tuned for the summer and fall if you're in, anywhere in Nevada. I think I've talked to Molly about maybe bringing out some people to do tabletop stuff. So yeah, just keep in touch with us. Yeah, again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Molly, and we'll see you.
Thank you.
See you all next time.
So fun.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.